Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. And to my returning subscribers, thanks so much for helping this channel grow. I truly appreciate your continued support and I do not take it for granted at all. Thank you very much. Let's dive right in. Davis Makiala is a Nigerian British gay activist who claimed he would, quote, fight for human rights for all persons if he became development chief in Ghana. But what was his real agenda? In this video, I look into who Makiala is and why he cloaked his gay activism under the guise of human rights, because similar actions had years earlier forced him to flee his home country of Nigeria to the West African country of Togo, and then later on seek asylum in the United Kingdom. And I'll also discuss the seemingly clueless complicit chief, Nana Okesi Esando IX, who enabled Makiala in Ghana. Here is a clip of Makiala's fall of the palanquin, which started the whole brouhaha about him. It was all over the internet. TikTok was circulating it, and some said the fall indicated that he'd been rejected by our ancestors and that it was God's way of protecting Ghana and Ghanaians from his agenda, while others claimed that the palanquin had been dropped purposely by the carriers once his gay activism had been uncovered. Here is the clip. After all the publicity surrounding the whole thing, something about all of it just wasn't sitting right with me. Something was not adding up. So that got me doing some research and digging around. Davis Makiala was born in 1972. I found out two dates. It's either 1972 or 1974, but I go with the 1972. In Port Harcourt, the capital and the largest city in Rivers State, that's in the southern part of Nigeria. And he's described as being from a wealthy Nigerian family, and apparently he realized that he was gay by the age of 14. However, he kept it to himself until two life-changing events occurred. The first was the ordination of Jane Robinson as Bishop of New Hampshire in March of 2004. And he is widely known for being the first openly gay priest to become a bishop. His ordination gave Iyala the faith and hope as a gay Christian, and it also stirred up the desire for activism. The second was the death of his mentor, a Bishop Iobi, I hope I'm not butchering the name, Bishop Iobi Ugedi of Utupo. However, I found no further details about this bishop apart from the fact that he died in 2003. So if anyone knows anything or has more information, please leave it in the comment section below. In July 2003, Makiala was fired from his job as the principal of a local Anglican children's school due to, in his opinion, his being gay. And it was after this incident that he established the Nigerian wing of the British organization called Changing Attitude Network, which advocates for gay people in the Anglican Church and also throughout Nigeria. In a Huffington Post interview, Makiala revealed that he started getting homophobic attacks as early as 2005. And that's the reason he had to relocate to Togo for a while. He also claims he could not attend his sister's 2008 funeral, which was held in Nigeria, because of escalating death threats as well as physical attacks. And that same year, he was apparently so terrified that he fled Togo and sought and was granted asylum in the United Kingdom. However, a year before that, in 2007, one Josh Thomas brought him to the United States to, quote, save his life from church-inspired violence. I mention Thomas because he wrote an article, UK grants asylum to Davis Makiala, now the rest of the story. He wrote this in 2008, and it gives us an insight into the type of person Makiala is. So I'm going to read some excerpts. I know Mr. Makiala better than anyone else in the United States, having served as sponsor of his 6-week coast-to-coast American tour last year. We spent every day and evening together, living in the same hotels and homes, sometimes in the same room. I do not like Davis Makiala, nor do I trust him, but I believe him. I do not want him near me. The UK's asylum decision is for me the best possible outcome. Davis can live in freedom, and I don't have to put up with him in the United States. I found his private behavior over the 6 weeks we were together to be rude, manipulative, arrogant, spendthrifty, and destructive. He was constantly sexually predatory in ways both disgusting and laughable. Our tour nearly broke apart in Chicago after the first week. I had to seek the intervention of 2 lesbian priests who were hosting us. When we stayed overnight in the lovely home of a gay American couple, renovated with taste and class, overlooking the Hudson River near West Park, New York, Davis dismissed his surroundings as no better than my father's children's quarters. And I'm assuming if the verbiage is similar to Ghana's wording, it's boys' quarters, which usually is where the house help or housekeepers stay, and it's called boys' quarters for some reason. So he ends it by saying, and that's, I'm talking about Thomas, that he managed to say this while living in a hovel in Togo took my breath away. Hovel, basically a shack or mud hut or something. This is nothing against Togo, I'm just trying to expound on hovel. So all this leads to the crux of the issue for me. How is it possible that someone who is so open about his lifestyle was able to become a traditional chief, a development chief in Ghana, and it's being claimed that no one knew who he was or what he does or about his lifestyle? And that is what I'm trying to delve into here. My question is, how has he been able to hide his prolific activism in plain sight? For example, last year, during the months of August and September, he attended the World Council of Churches in Germany. And I'm beginning to see that the ambiguous language, the way they're able to use religious language versus his real intent of gay activism is what is causing people to be unaware of his real intentions. An example would be this next clip of Makiala using words like interfaith, diversity, and nothing at all regarding LGBTQ plus affairs.
Hi, my name is Davis Makiala. I'm the founder and the chief executive of Interfaith Diversity Network of West Africa. We are in Togo. We've been in Togo organizing the Conflict in Diversity Seminar, which has turned out to be very, very successful. We have our members from 11 countries. When we say that we are interfaith diversity, we have proven that we are really interfaith, and we are also diverse in our members and in our organizing. We have members from the Hindu faith, we have members from the Christian faith, we have Jewish members, we have our Islamic members, we have members from the African tradition, faith tradition. And so it was a well attended seminar where we have religious leaders, our community members, all sitting together to talk. For many of us from West Africa, this is the first time that we could actually, in our own space in West Africa, meet with religious leaders to raise issues about marginalized people, about us, and the religious leaders entering into a dialogue. There was no one feeling unsafe. There was no one feeling that they are being discriminated. The dialogue was set in the tune that we are all equal. And so I am going to leave Togo with satisfaction that what we come for has been achieved. But this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. The conference, the seminar has identified quite a lot of work that we need to do. There are still a lot of challenges. And so we call on you, friends, partners, members, family, everyone, come join us and help us to make that change. Thank you.
So for me, a picture is emerging of how his choice of words cloak his real intentions. And I'm also going to share a clip of when he was installed and then destooled, and his choice of words there. Because in Ghana, because most people are religious, it goes right over their heads when they hear things like equality, human rights. No one is thinking it's gay activism.
I wasn't born in Ghana. I was born in Nigeria. But I'm also a British citizen. And by the grace of God, I practice what I preach. That is human rights for all persons.
This article of Ghana Web says Nigerian-born British gay activist Davis Makiala, who was installed as a traditional chief in the central region of Ghana at the weekend, is no longer a chief. The chief have stripped him of that title and reversed his installation on the grounds that he did not reveal his true identity to them. According to the chiefs, they had known him only as Kweku Edu. So here, he came into Ghana, he got a name. He's a resident, apparently, of Cape Coast and has been for the past 10 years. At a press conference on January 31st, 2023, the chief said, during the process of his installation, information came that Kweku Edu is also known as Davis Makiala and has been supporting LGBTQA+, blah, 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 and its related activities. Davis Makiala, aka Kweku Edu, has been in Ghana for 10 years. So he knows exactly how a majority of Ghanaians feel about this issue. What he couldn't do in Nigeria, what he couldn't do in Togo, he's trying to do in Ghana. And sir, you're going to fall off the palanquin.
It's interesting.
It's interesting that you reference the Afrobarometer report. That's Dispatch 461, which was released on the 1st of July 2021. And strangely, you have two fellows of the CDD, part of this academic group. And you wonder, their own work they did shows you how tolerant Ghanaians are. Ghanaians are not an intolerant people. Because when it comes to issues of ethnicity, people of different ethnicity, we are 96%, 97% tolerant. When it comes to even politics, right, we are 91% tolerant. Look at how acrimonious NDC and NPP gets, but we are 91% tolerant of each other. Religion, we are 94% tolerant of each other. Even foreigners in our country, we are 71% tolerant of them. But when it comes to LGBTQ, we're only 7% tolerant. It tells you, but well, because they're 7%, you have the academics, they form the 7%. But you see, the point here we are making is that it tells you where we are as a people. So when people question that, is your bill really promoting Ghanaian family values? The CDD's own report shows you what Ghanaian values are.
It's testament to
It
that.
shows you what.
The Office for LGBT plus Rights Ghana was officially opened on February 1, 2021. It was climaxed with an opening night and a fundraiser. In attendance was the Australian High Commissioner to Ghana, representatives of the Danish Embassy in Ghana, and the European Union. The opening of the office has sharply divided opinions among Ghanaians as the country's laws still criminalize homosexuality. While some groups and individuals have called for the office to be shut down, others believe it should be allowed to operate. We are here somewhere in Kwabinya within the Greater Accra region. The edifice behind me is actually the office of the LGBTQ plus Rights Ghana. And we are here with the landlord and other traditional authorities. But first of all, let me take a tour of the place with you. We are here in the yard now to check what has transpired between the time the police and the authorities came here. We were told by police that when they got here earlier, those who were already in the house actually fled. We're here to check, but from the look of things, the door has been locked. I can see a new padlock here, and I was told initially it was done by the security personnel who came here with the lamp.
The Australian ambassador, reps from the Danish embassy and the EU. Like, really, seriously? The coordination is mind-boggling. And I can bet anything that Makiala was behind the scenes doing stuff. But he couldn't show his face because people then would recognize him since he's been in Ghana for so long. But I can bet anything, I'll bet anything that he was behind the scenes coordinating this whole thing. And now I want to segue to the chief I mentioned in my description, Nana Okese Esando the Ninth, who helped nominate Makiala to be the development chief in that area, Central Region area. According to Chronicle News Online, Nana Okese Esando the Ninth explained that he got to know Makiala through some friends in Cape Coast who claimed that he'd been supportive with developmental projects. He said he discussed the issues with the Busuampenyi, which means family head, to install him as a mankohen to help with the area's development. Nana Esando admitted that Makiala had shown some dedication and commitment to the development of the area. I really want to see what's going on, what type of development he's really helped with. And this is the part that really got to me. More of that later. But the chief continued. Among others, he indicated that Aman Korhen was to organize the African American people who have traced their roots to Yamon Ranza, that's the area, to support the area's development. His broader vision is to attract investors from America and Europe, particularly the United Kingdom, to boost the economic activities in the area. But folks, I really believe there's a quid pro quo thing going on between these two. And let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
I wasn't born in Ghana. I was born in Nigeria. But I'm also a British citizen. And by the grace of God, I practice what I preach. That is human rights for all persons. I don't believe in discrimination. Whether you are tall, short, black, white, yellow, or green. You are a human being. And I will fight for that my belief to the very end.
Na mekwama mejidi demi ekosi ewi.
No matter what it costs me.
Amfa hona nia obesi.
I'm not an hypocrite.
Menye nyatwemi.
And I will not start now to be an hypocrite.
Na nyenda so na meba be nyatwem.
You don't need to like me.
Mempele be pamasam.
But you have to respect my views.
Namom ode edenidi ma madenchire.
That is how it is.
Damonote.
I came to know Omahini in April 2022.
Afe mpe na bianu ebien awotwemi na bosoma otodo anan mu April.
This our great father.
Omahini.
By then he has been in litigation for 13 years.
Adamembo na wako awo ohamu be mfe du ebasa.
Someone wants to collect what belongs to him.
Obi pedo dia okita Omahini.
Me, I do my investigation.
Mankasa
And I will never stand on the wrong side.
Mankasa me ya mhwehwehwemu
I
so.
say no, Omahini.
Menjina dia onye.
I'm a brother that you don't have.
Nanti me bayo ne wa beka chenda me ye beyina eni na me no betina.
I know how to make something happen.
Menim kona me fado man nyama ayeye.
So for me,
Enti amede
whether I'm the one who did it or not,
say amena me ye yo so onya amena me ye yo.
somebody that is in litigation for 13 years,
Obia wa kom
and I know him in April.
for mfe duwe ba
In
sam be wo
December, he has
open
got his gazette.
na December yala na bibiala akodo.
In January, he has sworn into the regional house, the national and regional house.
January yala wa swai ama omani hina no ne anemanto anefifimanto
I am very proud of my Omahini.
Folks, we all heard him say he knows how to make things happen. So anyway, the backstory to this is that the paramount chief of Inkusukum traditional area in the Infansiman municipality in the central region, Nana Okesi Esando the 9th, has officially been gazetted by the National House of Chiefs, Kumasi. The official gazette has given the national recognition to a successful installment as the legitimate as well as the only recognized paramount chief for the paramountcy, whose name has been entered into national records. And this is where I want us to focus on. The official gazette is expected to end a 13-year protracted chieftaincy dispute, which did not just adversely affect the development of the area, but also retarded its progress. So this is the quid pro quo. He was able to make things happen. I don't know what he did to end this 13-year litigation fiasco going on. And as a reward, he was given this chief of development, whatever. These are the types of leaders and chiefs. Some, I'm going to emphasize some. So if the shoe does not fit you, if the chalawate does not fit you, if the ahinima does not fit you, don't worry. But some of our traitorous chiefs are giving away our lands. Galamsey, that's how we got the Chinese chief who Ghanaians, outraged Ghanaians said, no way, and he had to leave as well. But this is unconscionable, unconscionable. And I hope all leaders start being exposed like this. It's unacceptable. You were in litigation for 13 years. Now you want someone to go to African Americans, go to diaspora in Europe and come and develop your area. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So I'm going to put up the two faces, and when you see them approaching you, go in the different direction, because this is unacceptable. So I'm about to wrap up because I don't want this video to be too long. But as I connected the dots and I saw how he became chief and how subliminally he would have pushed his agenda. And it's a vicious cycle. You can be whoever you want to be, But you shouldn't be devious or hiding it or putting it under wraps, cloaking it in a different way to market it to people. That's totally dishonest. And that's why I refer to him as duplicitous in my title. And also refer to the chief, Okese Esando, as seemingly clueless, because he does have a master's degree in building construction technology. Folks, but as we all know, book sense does not equate common sense sometimes. And we need to call out these types of so-called chiefs and leaders. These are the sort that aided and abetted during the slave trade. Yes, I said it. And it needs to stop. Because you don't just hand over your most precious commodity, your people, your land, your culture, to someone you barely know. You crown someone a developmental chief and you know nothing about them. Same way some of our African brothers and sisters ended up in the Americas, because we didn't know who we're dealing with. We're just doing whatever. And it has to stop. We need to learn from history and stop repeating things that are mistakes. We cannot keep repeating our mistakes. I'm going to end it here now, folks, because I just know I'm going to say something I shouldn't if I go on the way I'm feeling right now. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Please consider subscribing to continue to grow this channel. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.